I used it as a hiding place when I got to the alley. Filth, trash, and garbage. And a half-empty can of paint. Okay, technically that's just garbage too. But it's so shiny and pretty. Silver Insta-Dry paint. Nice spray. How cool is that? They're all for groups that I love. The one in the middle is for Viejo Musical, a crazy bunch of dudes with a sizzling hot rhythm. The two on either side are for his haircut, an indie folk group that Gina's wild about. Better not. Going to the right takes you to the entrance to Bennett's apartment building. No, I think there's a police station nearby, with police cars driving by constantly. That's the dining area in a restaurant. Looks empty. Oh wait, there's a guy asleep at one of the tables, I think. Well, actually it's not a window. It's just a thick glass panel that doesn't open or close. Francacella? This graffiti could be a reference to just about anything, from the artist himself to a new type of illegal rave. Locked. The nasty stench wafting out of there is enough to spur the creation of a whole new race of mutant turtles. Let's make a preliminary attempt. The manhole cover is so thick and the hole so small that I could never lift it with my bare hands, not even with the tried and true technique of sticking in my pinky finger. No, I see a bit of light and would rather avoid the risk. It's open just a crack. I'd rather not get any closer while there's people hanging around. I don't want anybody to recognize me. From an olfactory perspective, it has managed to reach new levels of achievement in malodorousness. I don't see anything that I'd ever need or want. It's the epitome of the junk food concept. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Almost everyone's already had dinner by this time of evening. Since the invasion of the cellular phone, it belongs to a species on the verge of extinction. Not only is it not ringing, but the call is for somebody else. One of the dullest, most lifeless streets in Manhattan, no doubt. No, it's much safer for me to stay in these hidden alleyways. Since the No thank. Yes, sir. The one from... It's the epitome of the junk food concept. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Almost everyone's already had dinner by this time of evening. Better not. The end is here. Have a nice...
This here's Bennett's apartment building.
Come on, let's cut through here.
No, let's go another way. Or do you want to stay to chum around with the bums?
I'm shocked. I'm terribly saddened to hear this. The doctor he was a very close friend, so all we can do for him now, and especially for Brian, is watch this.
Patient, Brian Basco, session 25, October the 6th, 2008.
Good, Brian. Before continuing with your memories, would you like to go over what you've been explaining to me in your latest sessions?
Yes.
All right. Everything began during your vacation in Hawaii, correct?
Yes. Gina hired Otto, an old German pilot, to take us on a day trip to Mala Island. I think Otto had a heart attack. When we flew over a big lake, I threw Gina out the door with the only parachute on board. and then I tried to land the plane.
Tell me how...
Yeah, to take us on a day trip to Mala Island. I think Otto had a heart attack. When we flew over a big lake, I threw Gina out the door with the only parachute on board. And then I tried to land the plane.
What happened when you attempted the crash landing on Mala Island?
Otto had vanished. I found a military camp by the lake. I asked the soldiers if they'd seen Gina, and I talked to their main officer, Colonel Kordsmeyer. He told me he hadn't seen her, but I could tell he was hiding something. So I decided to infiltrate the camp and search for her.
Tell me about how you infiltrated Kordsmeyer's camp.
I knew Kordsmeyer was waiting for a scientist to come visit. Thanks to O'Connor, a really dumb soldier, I was able to impersonate the scientist, but I couldn't find Gina. Still, I discovered clues that something weird was happening in the lake, and also that the only person who'd know what was going on was this guy named Professor Simon in Alaska.
Tell me about your trip to Alaska.
When I found Professor Simon's house somewhere in the middle of Alaska, he told me the unbelievable truth. At the bottom of the lake on Mala Island, there was a spacecraft from the planet Trantor. With the help of an alien accomplice, Kordsmeyer stole some energy stones from the Trantorians, and without them, these aliens would die for sure. He would only return them in exchange for a technologically advanced Trantorian weapon. When I found Professor Simon's house somewhere in the middle of Alaska, he told me the unbelievable truth. At the bottom of the lake on Mala Island, there was a spacecraft from the planet Trantor. With the help of an alien accomplice, Kordsmeyer stole some energy stones from the Trantorians, and without them, these aliens would die for sure. He would only return them in exchange for a technologically advanced Trantorian weapon.
What was the relationship between Gina and the extraterrestrials?
When Gina fell into the lake, they rescued her and took her to their ship. She had gunshot wounds, probably inflicted at the orders of Kordsmeyer. They tried everything they could to heal her, but without the energy stones, Gina would soon die.
So the extraterrestrials found Gina?
When Gina fell into the lake, they rescued her. She had gunshot wounds, probably inflicted at the orders of Kordsmeyer. They tried everything they could to heal her, but without the energy stones, Gina would soon die.
Did you get the extraterrestrials' energy stones back?
Getting the stones Kordsmeyer had stolen was impossible, but with some friends' help, I found another piece of Trentonite. It had been hidden for centuries in a pirate ship at the bottom of the Pacific. I got that stone and returned to Mala Island.
Okay, Brian. I guess this is about as far as we can go with our review of prior sessions. Let's delve into unknown territory at last. In the fantasies that your memory seems to recognize as reality, did you manage to deliver the energy stone to the Trantorians and save Gina's life?
It's all a bit confusing.
Just try, Brian. Did you get to the lake without being seen by the soldiers?
Yes, there was a turtle. I followed one of them in order to sneak onto the ship, but Kordsmeyer, Tarantula, and their troops were a few steps ahead of me. I took out one of the guards and put on his uniform, then they saw me. To reach the heart of the spacecraft, I was going to have to do it the hard way. In the end, I made it to a sealed chamber. My sixth sense told me where I was supposed to place the Trentonite. And that's how I managed to get the Trentonite to Alpha, the leader of the Trantorian ship.
It's fascinating that your mind is able to believe all of these wild adventures, Brian. Let us continue. Did it take Alpha long to get his strength back?
Not long at all. In a matter of minutes, he went from being half dead to being completely healthy.
You were telling me that Alpha recovered.
Not long in a matter.
Were the Trantorians able to regain control of their ship?
Yeah, Alpha woke up the rest of the crew, and they attacked the soldiers and took Kordsmeyer prisoner, as well as Tarantula and the alien trader who'd stolen their energy stones.
So, the good little Martians had a field day with the bad old humanoids, right?
Yeah, Alpha woke up the rest of the crew, and they attacked the soldiers and took Kordsmeyer prisoner, as well as Tarantula and the alien trader who'd stolen their energy stones.
And then what? Don't tell me the Trantorians themselves took Kordsmeyer to the authorities.
No, they used a mind control device, so I'd do it for them. By activating it, I could take control of Kordsmeyer's body while I just sat there, motionless. And by controlling the Colonel, I could make him confess his crimes to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Colonel Jerome D. Chapman, who would no doubt arrest him. I had to do this fast, because after 1 hour, the person using the mind control device loses his powers and the device disintegrates. No. By activating it, I could take control of Kordsmeyer's body while I just sat there, motionless. And by controlling the Colonel, I could make him confess his crimes to his second-in-command, Lieutenant Colonel Jerome D. Chapman, who would no doubt arrest him. I had to do this fast.
By the way, how was Gina during all this?
Luckily, she was fine, but she was still unconscious. Alpha told me she would still take a while to wake up, and that afterwards she wouldn't remember a thing. But I didn't care. I finally got to see her again, alive and safe and sound.
Good thing.
Luckily, she was fine. Alpha told me she would still take a while to wake up, and that afterwards she wouldn't remember a thing. But I didn't care. I finally got to see her again, alive and safe and sound.
In other words, the Trantorians left you with this hot potato and took off. The nerve.
They said that Earth had become too hazardous for them and that they would never return. They vanished in utter silence. Nobody saw them appear, and nobody saw them when they left.
In other words, the only gift they gave you was this device, which you say would stop working after 1 hour.
In addition to the device, they gave me a very special gift. However, they insisted I be careful. Trentonite is powerful, so I had to keep it from falling into the wrong hands.
Let's go over everything again. The Martians gave you the Trentonite and a device to control Kordsmeyer's brain with, and then they left. And what happened to all of you who were inside the ship?
Alpha told me the soldiers would be beamed back to the military camp, and that all of their memories about the spacecraft would be erased instantaneously. As for me, I appeared inside of Colonel Kordsmeyer's tent. I could still control everything he did. I could see myself holding on to the mind control device. Then I remembered what Alpha had said. I had 1 hour to make sure Kordsmeyer was put in jail before the device would disintegrate. Just 1 hour.
How am I going to do this? I've got to get Kordsmeyer and Tarantula arrested. But as soon as that happens, the Trantonite will probably get taken away. I'm not sure how I'll set things up, but within an hour, the Colonel and his mercenary will be behind bars, and my Trantonite will be in a place where nobody can find it but me. Inside is the gift Alpha gave me for helping the Trantorians. A piece of Trantonite, the only one left on Earth. I'll take it. Great. Now I just have to hide it somewhere. On his forehead, he's wearing, or rather, I'm wearing, the mind control device that allows me to control Kordsmeyer's body for 1 hour. Speak with myself. Ooh, scary. Almost looks like the one Rambo used. Looks ancient. For macho reasons only a soldier would understand, I've got it hidden inside my underpants. It's loaded. It's small. I've got it attached to a piece of rubber, and it's inside my right boot. I have to make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands. She's finally here, right in front of me. I can't believe everything I had to go through to get her back. No. Alpha says she's in such a sleepy state that she won't wake up until about an hour after getting off the ship. According to Alpha, she'll wake up more or less when the mind control device disintegrates. Not only do I find her repulsive, but with all this rage pent up in Kordsmeyer's body, all I feel like doing is popping her one. There's nothing... Not that I care much, but if I get the capsule to disappear too, I'll have gotten rid of any and all evidence of the Trantorians' visit. There's nothing... They couldn't find a bigger one? Let's see now.
What would you like, my colonel? I was about to go to bed and...
Number 1, nobody goes to bed here until I give the order. Number 2, who the hell am I talking to?
It's me, Leslie, your son. I mean, your secretary, my colonel.
Oh, yeah. All right, then.
Who would you like to speak with, my colonel?
Get me the white...
Yes, my colonel.
Thank you for calling the mahogany line of the Oval Office. At this time, the President is not available. Please define what type of individual you are in order to provide you with a customized pre-recorded message from our President.
Army office.
Keep up the good work, men. You've almost earned another performance by Bill Cosby.
Who would you like to speak?
Get me the white...
Yes, my colonel.
At this time, the President is pleased.
President of Coca-Cola.
Sir, yes, sir. At your orders. As soon as I return, I promise to call you. At your feet, sir.
Who would...
Yep.
Yes.
Please define...
Member of the Association of Cigar Salesmen outraged by the President.
You have called the wrong number, amigo. That world leader hasn't lived here for a long time.
Who would...
Get me the...
Yes.
Please define...
Pharmaceutical CEO, and I'm not happy.
Hello there, my good friend. Did you get the apple pie my wife sent you?
Get me the...
Yes.
Please define...
President...
Well, well, well. Still not convinced by the idea of becoming state number 51? Or should I start uncorking the vintage can of Tab I've been saving?
You wouldn't happen to know where I keep my...
No, I don't know what you're talking about, Dad.
Get Lieutenant Colonel...
As you wish.
Sir,
Don't you budge from your... I want to be able to locate you for the whole...
I shall...
What would you do if I told you I'd betrayed my country?
My opinion has not wavered. I will be forced to arrest you, sir.
Refresh my memory. What is it we're doing on this island?
Sir, I don't understand. We're waiting for the scientists to get here so they can examine the meteorite without protection. According to their speculations, it is the bottom of the lake.
I just wanted to check whether you were still at your station. Must be Kordsmeyer's, if you ask me. Excellent idea. Maybe I'll find some files that demonstrate Kordsmeyer's fraudulent activities to help him get arrested. Nada. Either I'm a computer moron, or I just can't locate them. Or maybe Kordsmeyer is a true genius and keeps any files that might incriminate him somewhere else.
Who would you like?
That O'Connor guy. We can trust him, right?
Yes, sir. He is so stupid, so honest, and so loyal that he would be able to screw up any operation underway just to stick to his word.
Get...
As you...
Sir,
Don't you... I want to be able to...
I shall...
I just... A peaceful spring night. Well, I guess as long as I don't get too far from the mind control device and I keep an eye on the entrance so nobody sneaks in, I shouldn't get into any trouble.
Marine Zachariah O'Connor at your orders. My colonel. My sir. My. Semper Fi, sir.
Oh, how nice.
I'm here, my sir. Colonel.
I would have never guessed.
Dang it, sir. I mean, I'm not there anymore, my colonel.
Unbelievable. And where is there?
There, sir, my colonel. Where their mission is.
Look, soldier, let's get things straight. Do you even know what Semper Fide means?
Yes, sir. If you yell a lot, it means you're a Marine, sir. I yell it when I don't know what to say, my colonel. Semper Fi.
Semper Fide means ever loyal.
Why, shoot, sir. You just described me. I'm as loyal as a dog. Marine Zachariah O'Connor, always loyal.
What is that mission you were talking about?
Shoot, sir! You're the one who said, give the mission to the dumbest and most unessential soldier in the regiment, sir! And that's me, sir, Marine Zachariah O'Connor. Semper Fi.
What does the mission I asked you to perform consist of?
Recovering the box of Havana cigars from my colonel from the deepest part of the Hawaiian jungle. Sir, my colonel.
I would like a report on this cigar-related mission.
Sir, I'm an elite, I can't write.
Then report to me orally.
Wait, is that where the suppositories go?
Oral means by speaking.
Sir, yes, sir. The helicopter performed the Havana cigar drop far away, at the wrong coordinates on the island. Colonel, they were in the middle of the jungle, so I headed there. More scared than embarrassed, sir.
Why were you afraid to go into the jungle?
Monkeys, sir! Those sneaky monkeys that tried to steal my cap and threw coconuts at me.
Couldn't you defend yourself from the monkeys?
Yes, sir! I glued my cap to my scalp using the regulation glue, my colonel. The bad thing is that the monkeys didn't have your cigars, sir!
I'm taking away the glue you used to glue your cap onto your head.
That's the regulation survival glue, sir! It's all yours, sir!
I wasn't familiar with this brand, soldier. He's a bit Forrest Gumpish, but without the charming wisdom. I didn't know we had...
The rules are a bit complicated, sir. In order to impede the dehydration caused by colitis, dysentery, and other agents, which lead to uncontrolled rectal evacuation. As soon as a soldier detects the first symptoms, he or she is required to apply the regulation glue to the site of expulsion of the waste product. I don't understand all that stuff about dehydration or colitis or dysentery or evacuation or rectal or waste expulsion, but the important thing is I learned it by heart and I can regurgitate it on command. Sir!
Rectal means where you put your suppositories.
Why, shucks, sir. I don't know what to say. Semper Fi!
If you don't understand what